Hi everybody! Alright, I'm making a video, but I don't know the topic just yet. I'm just going to channel and we'll just see what comes, okay? So it's February 11th and it's full moon time and the energy's been really awesome. I don't know if you've been feeling awesome, but I have been feeling exceptionally awesome. So Valentine's Day is on the very near horizon. And so we'll just see what Spirit wants to share, okay? So I'm just going to relax here and then we'll share a message. So I'm instantly taken to a scene. There's a buffalo, a really fat, oversized, enormous buffalo. It won't look at me. I just see it from the side. It's really calm. It's grazing. It's at peace. It is not disturbed. I am experiencing the grasses. They're longer. There's no motivation to move. There are no other buffalo. There's only just this one. There's no sensation of anything but peacefulness, relaxation. As I look at this buffalo, I see there is a spiral of energy going into actually the mind of the buffalo. But it's also a tunnel. It's like a wormhole that is entering into the scene, almost like the fabric of time is meaningless. It's nothing. There is no such thing as the fabric of time. So whether this buffalo appears to be real or not, it is only a reflection. It is merely only a reflection, no different than putting your finger into water and touching your own face, and now you see it ripple. That is what they're showing me. This wormhole is going so fast. The spiral it creates like a wormhole is going into this buffalo's head, but it's going through the image of the buffalo as well. It really creates a sensation of meaninglessness. I mean, it's like this mighty buffalo, we're learning about its experience, we're learning about its feelings, but the reality is it's just a reflection. The tangibility, the experience, the totality of it all, it's really as valuable, as meaningful, it's as monumental as looking at your own reflection in a pond of water and then touching it with your finger and then watching it ripple. This can alter time instantaneously. It can just snap. Go. What's next? How many different reflections are there? How many different reflections of time are there? How many different reflections of a consciousness are there? Technically it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we're looking at a buffalo right now. We could be looking at a star system. We could be looking at planets. We could be looking at alien beings or angels, or we could be looking at the past, the present, or the future. We could be looking at any infinite, sporadic moment in time. It has already happened, but yet somehow not happened. It is constantly moldable, changeable. Everything is always altering its reflection, always altering its reflection. My spirit guides say, but how is that possible? How is time constantly changing, or the perception of time moldable? And I say, people want to know what their past lives are, as though that is the only truth, that their soul is on a linear experience. You live these lifetimes and now you're in the present. You don't perceive the fact that your soul is literally like lines of light that are exploring all different times. So you want to know your future lifetimes. Your soul, there's no past, present, or future. There only is experiences that are taking place all over the place simultaneously at any given time. Our perception of time is we're in the present. Our perception of what was yesterday was in the past. Our perception of tomorrow is the future. That is our linear human thinking. That is our awesome linear human thinking. Okay, here is a box. Now let's try and think outside the box. How do we think outside the box? We stop drawing straight lines. Just like that. So now how do we comprehend infinite time? Now, here's a sheet of paper, and now start putting dots all over the place. Now, where is your soul on the piece of paper? It's everywhere. It's all over the place. Let's take the salt and pepper shaker and let's shake it out on some paper. Where is past, present, and future? It's just a pile of salt and pepper. It's just a pile of of just sporadic dots. Exactly. Exactly. So what else? But why the buffalo? Why are you showing me the buffalo? Because there was something quite mighty or majestic about it when I was experiencing it from the get-go, because we don't think about buffaloes. We don't think about wild horses. We don't think about vast prairies, uninhabited, never touched by human feet. We don't think about a time when Native Americans were roaming the plains, and it was a balance, a complete and extraordinary balance, spiritual balance with earth and sky, with spirit, with all sacred directions, with the animals, with each other. There's just something to the way this scene just sort of begins, So you have this sort of majestic buffalo, but it seems strange how time becomes the centerpiece. Time becomes the most important, most valuable component. It really feels disappointing to me, because I actually valued the moment that I had with the buffalo. There is meaning to it. There is value to this moment. Even though there's uncountable, unmeasurable moments constantly taking place all over, all expressions of time, and constantly regraphing time, constantly exploring new perceptions of an experience, constantly re-exploring itself, re-identifying itself, and continuing to work through a spiral of experiences, continuing to go through the revolving door, go through the revolving door. We're constantly revolving and changing, shedding old skins, and now we're glistening with new skin, only to discover that there is so much more work to do. Now we keep molding and growing and changing and letting go more facades, letting go more of our ego, finding the most honest version of ourselves and now expressing that. So I'm just going to take a moment here and examine this further. I see literally just the outline of a buffalo, and it is in a wormhole, and it's blue in color, and it's sort of spiraling around. So the buffalo is actually inside the wormhole. It has no clue that it is. It thinks it's still inside of a prairie. It's eating. It's grazing. It literally is starting to just look like a TV image. Just like a projection of a buffalo that thinks it is a buffalo. But what is it if it is not really a buffalo? Then what is it? Is time, is the wormhole, is the infinite more valuable than this moment? Because I see value in the experience of being a buffalo and the reflection of buffalo. I'm in the wormhole and I'm walking towards the buffalo, and I feel a grief or sadness within my heart. I wonder where you are, is what I say to it. I look into its eyes and I touch its body, and I say to it, I wonder where you are, or where have you been? I feel just like my heart is being crushed. I feel confused about what has happened here, or what has happened in time to inspire the buffalo to disappear, so to speak. There's an experience of this is the last buffalo ever. And it is merely just a glistening reflection in a pond. And now I myself wonder where I am in the constructs of an identity, of a reality, and within the measures of time itself. I wonder what it is to go beyond the need to experience reality in this way, to become a part of the reality versus becoming beyond the reality itself. As in, to let go of everything, to completely let go of everything in order to transcend into some whole new reflection of experience. But if I were to transcend into that, would it merely just be a glistening pond, my reflection that I touch, and it is merely a ripple? What is beyond this? Spirit asks me, why do you feel grief within your heart? Why do you not feel excitement and wonderment? Allow yourself to appreciate the reflection of buffalo as a gift, and a gift that has moved on, so to speak, exploring this as though buffalo are now extinct. And actually exploring this as though that is a good thing. We would not perceive that to be a good thing. I say, well then, if humanity became extinct, that too would be no different than the buffalo. Now wouldn't it? That too would be okay, because we would be exploring the revolution of a doorway and onto new things. Spirit says yes to that. Spirit actually says yes to that, but they do not say that humanity is going to go extinct. They're only asking us to explore what is transition, a death and a rebirth of whole new things. Not to find death to be a grievous thing, but to find it as a rejoice, because now it is an opportunity for new experiences, whole new experiences. They ask me if I know how many planets die every day, every perceived day. How many races of reflections are transitioned into what was, so to speak. And now we transition into new reflections. Do you know how often that happens? As in animals, insects, alien beings, real beings with real consciousnesses going extinct every single day in an infinite universe. In all perceived notions of time. How often does this happen? You see, they say, do you see? We have to step away from the need to keep clutching on to making sense of things by drawing a line. This is all there ever is, was, and ever will be. That's not the truth. Now, take your paintbrush and splatter it on the wall and now truly perceive something more. It is time they show me a big human foot stepping across the line and now just expressing itself in a whole new measure of identity. They're saying this is really exciting, as in even trying to identify it as a version of humanity gone extinct, now crossing a line into a whole new version of humanity. Humanity itself going through a death and then a rebirth of its own reflection. Humanity not going extinct, but going through a rebirth of its own identity. And that is a beautiful thing. That is a wonderful thing. That is something to celebrate. That is something we are all celebrating. This is a big deal. So as we talk about this, I say, well, what version of time? Because how many versions of time are there where we are just scattered through reflections of experiences not defined by past, present, or future? They're sort of quiet and just, they won't say anything to that. How far can we stretch our brains to keep making sense of these things? They just want you to make sense of that there's quite a lot of joy and quite a lot of love for this specific moment of a reflection, because it is a moment when human beings cross the linear reflection and into an infinite reflection, start to grow beyond their measures, showcasing what I had defined as going through a spiral, a continual revolving door, a re-exploring, continuing to stir the pot of experiences, shedding skins. How many timelines do you think that humanity has gone through in order to get to a specific moment in the bunches of them all to create this infinite reflection? This sort of an ultimate orb at the top of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye, the infinite human reflection. It's more than I can figure out right now. How do we create a Tetris game, in all dimensions of reflection simultaneously? What would that game look like? It's like fourth dimensional shapes, fifth dimensional shapes, sixth dimensional shapes. We just keep growing. And then how do we define all of that stuff for our human brains to make sense of? Time to grow beyond the skin in order to comprehend these things. So they just keep saying this is the message for today. The message is to be excited. The message is to be very, very happy. The message is to rejoice. The message is to love the buffalo that much more. The message is to hug the buffalo with all of your heart and to rejoice in the infinite reflections of the universe. Not to find them merely just another reflection, but to embrace them, to rejoice in them, to rejoice in the death and the rebirth of all things, is what they're saying. And now to take it on, bring it on home, and to rejoice in the death and rebirth of our species, of our human race, of our reflection. It's cool. It's really, really cool. That's all. That is it. I'm going to let you decide what that means to you. But I'm telling you, the buffalo was awesome. The buffalo was like, I know they probably aren't this awesome, but it felt this awesome to be in its presence. It's like if I could have a super pillow that was a buffalo, it has the energy reflection of it, or its personality or its emotional status is like the most awesome pillow, the most massive awesome pillow you could snuggle into ever. Totally peaceful, totally grounded, it makes you feel grounded. It makes you feel peaceful. It makes you feel harmony. And it sort of has this beautiful sort of low humming noise to it. The noise of the buffalo. That's like the vibration of it. If we could mold all the energy fibers of buffalo into like the super awesomest pillow of all time, like it just would be. I loved it. I just want to keep hugging it because it made me feel all of those things inside. So to look at it was a mere sort of thumbprint, a mere sort of ripple in the pond. It was so much more than that to me. And comprehending the infinite time wasn't such a big deal to me as just appreciating all the different fibers of reflections amidst the infinite time, amidst the infinite reflections, and then appreciating all creations. Nothing ever truly dies. Things are only reborn. And in infinite time, buffalo remain forever. Human beings remain forever. Species that we would define as extinct are always in existence in infinite time, which is special too. Again, nothing truly dies. Only our perception must alter in order to comprehend that fully. Okay, thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed the message. Didn't know what they were going to share for today, but just felt like the right time to make a video for everybody and just see what Spirit has to share with us. So I hope you're having a super wonderful weekend. I hope you're enjoying the full moon energy. It's been really fantastic for me to experience, and Valentine's Day is just around the corner, so I hope you have a really wonderful Valentine's Day. So thank you again for watching. If you would like to visit with me one-on-one, I would love to share psychic wisdom or spiritual healing to help you on your journey. And please visit me at my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting my channel.